Oh, you're getting rid of some pain from coming to class?
No, I'm coming as often as I have,
Oh, good.
kept pain away.
Well, that's good
So,
news. That makes me
yeah.
happy.
No, it's been like that since I started, actually.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to start kind of like we did on Monday. We're going to start first by sitting on our blankets. We want our hips higher than the knees, so you may have to fold the blankets once or twice, but I'll let you decide. I'm going to do one blanket on the low setting today and then one in like a narrow rectangle today. And then once you find your comfortable seat, you can sit cross-legged and maybe even let the knees kind of descend down towards the floor if that's comfortable. And then we'll start with our palms face down on the knees or thighs, and the spine lengthens. Now we'll just take a brief moment to do our body scan. So how is the physical body doing today? What sensations are you experiencing and where? Next, how is the mind? Check in today. And finally, observe the breath. What is it doing as it flows in and out? And now let all of that go. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Pause. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Pause. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Continue a few rounds on your own. After your next exhalation, return the breath back to a natural rhythm. Let it flow in and out with ease. Physical and mental toxins can create stiffness and tension. Anything that makes us stiff can also break us. Only if we are supple will we never break. What we need is the strength of steel, but with steel's flexibility, not like crude iron, which is very strong and hard, but breaks. The body must be so supple it can bend any way you want it to. Such a body will always be healthy and tension-free. And the moment we sit down for a meditation in such a body, we'll forget. We'll forget the tension. So what we're doing today is we're going to focus on the element of water, because when I think of having something flexible, I think water because we're moving fluidly. So that's what we're going to do today is we're going to kind of move a little bit more fluidly through some of our poses to incorporate water. So first we'll start by crossing the opposite leg on top. And we'll simply start with those circles that kind of outline the pelvic bowl, so to speak. So the way I kind of do this is place my hands in the hip creases, and then I'm going to kind of stick my heart out forward, and then I'm going to round back, kind of like this. So it's like you're circling around. You can move as slow or as fast as you want. If the hands at the hips aren't working, you can always bring the fingertips onto the blanket. Try not to be super stiff. Try to keep these circles going. Keep them moving fluidly. Since it is morning, you may feel a little bit stiff, some creaks here and there. And switch directions with your circles. So another thing I like to think about with the element of water is the idea of going with the flow, because water can change its form depending on whether it's in a glass, spilt on the floor, etc., frozen, gaseous. So that's why we're incorporating water today. We want to take many forms and go with the flow. All right, we'll come back to a neutral position. And now we'll come into a seated cat-cow. So for this, we'll interlace our fingers and place the hands behind the head. Open the elbows away from each other. Inhale, look up to the ceiling. Exhale, round the spine. Elbows come towards each other. Head and neck hang. Inhale, gaze forward and up. Open the heart, elbows away. Exhale, round the spine, elbows together. Keep moving with your own breath. Again, find fluid motions. Try not to skip anywhere or overlook any spots. Keep moving fluidly. Take 2 more rounds. And after your second exhalation, you can come back to a neutral spine. And then you can release the hands. All right, now we'll remove one of the blankets from underneath our seat. You can remove one or both blankets. I'm just going to remove one. And we'll keep the legs crossed. And now we're simply just going to walk our hands forward and fold over the crossed legs. You'll immediately be able to feel the outer hips. Try to keep the sit bones rooted to the blanket or floor. You might even have to gently press into the floor a little bit as you fold forward to keep the sit bones rooted. Now we'll tent the fingertips and walk over to the left. Fold over the left leg, but try to keep the right sit bone rooted. Tent the fingers, walk over to the right, fold over the right leg. Now we'll return to center and start to walk yourself back up to your seat. We're going to switch cross legs again. Opposite leg on top. We'll do that one more round with opposite leg on top. So we'll start first by folding at center, walking the hands forward, both sit bones rooted. Try to find a nice steady breath. Tent the fingertips, walk over to the left, fold over the left leg. Tent the fingertips, walk over to the right, folding over the right leg. You can't go right? Is that the hip that's bothering you?
This is the hip that always gives me problem, but I would think I would be able to.
That's all right. Sometimes you can't go super far. Maybe try grabbing a block and place that in front of the leg and then just put your hands on the block. Maybe that might work. I'm glad you said something. I thought you were just tight.
Go that way. I don't know why.
Your hips don't want you to. Your low back and hips probably just don't want you to right now. There we go. Yeah, you might even have to bring the level of the block up to the medium setting, it looks like. Yeah, like that. Yeah, the other way, I think. Or that way works too, yeah. There you go.
Not without lifting this hip.
It just wants to lift up. So yeah, you're pretty tight then. We're going to come back to center and come up to a seat. I'm thinking so too. The hips and low back is probably it. This is a good one to practice to kind of stretch it out, but sometimes that stiffness just won't let you do anything. That is okay because we're going to fix that. So now you can roll off to your hands and knees. If you want the blanket for underneath your knees for your traditional cat-cow, go ahead and use it. Otherwise, you can set it off to the side. All right, and now we'll come into our traditional cat-cow. So with the palms underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, we'll tuck the toes today. On an inhale, gaze forward and up, let the belly drop. Exhale, round the spine, press the ground away. Continue to move fluidly. Try not to move too quickly from one pose to the next. Try to enjoy the journey from one pose to the next. And on your next inhalation, let the belly drop, gaze lift. And on an exhale, we're still having our concave of the spine. We're just going to try and look over towards the right. Maybe you can see your right hip, or maybe you're just looking towards the right side of the room. And now we'll go in the other direction. Try and look over towards the left hip. So it's almost like we're creating a C shape with the side bodies. And inhale, come back to center. And now find any organic movements that feel good, like rounding the spine, shaking the hip side to side, forward and back. Right now is the opportunity to do anything that feels good. And then we'll come back to center and neutral tabletop position. Walk the hands forward, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back. First downward facing dog. Really press the palms into the earth, fully extending the arms. Inhale, we'll lift the right leg up. Exhale, bend the leg to open the hips. Now draw big circles with the right knee. And now switch directions with those circles. Try to keep both palms equally rooted to the earth, not dumping all of the weight into the right hand. Inhale, re-extend the leg, point the toes down. Exhale, lower the foot down. Lower the knees. Bring the knees to the outer edges of the mat, big toes touch, and we'll send the sit bones back towards the heels for a child's pose. Forehead melts, arms can reach forward. Next inhale, we'll come back up to our tabletop, knees come together, and then tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog again. Inhale, left leg lifts this time, bend the leg, and start making your circles with the knee in one direction. Continue to breathe. And then we'll switch directions with those circles. And inhale, extend the leg, toes point down. Exhale, lower the foot down. One more inhale here in your downward facing dog. Exhale. Bend the legs, step, walk, or hop forward, meeting the hands at the top of the mat. For now, we'll bring the feet about hips width distance apart, outer edges of the feet parallel, and we'll just release the head and neck in our forward fold. And for now, we'll even bend the legs deeply, letting the belly maybe even rest on the tops of the thighs. Relax from the belly button all the way to the crown of the head. Arms can continue to dangle, or you can clasp opposite elbows. Now find a little movement, swaying side to side, straightening one leg, then the other. But try to keep the upper body completely heavy. Release the fingertips to the floor or shins. Inhale, lengthen the spine, half lift. Exhale, fold. One more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Now we'll take our time rising up to a standing position, rolling up one vertebra at a time until the head rises last. Good. All right, now we'll grab those 2 blocks. We're going to do a little side body stretch because after Sunday with those ab workouts, my abs and obliques were very, very tight. So it's going to feel good to get a little side body stretch in there. Did you feel your abs at all after Sunday morning? You did? Me too. All right, we're going to start with feet a little wider than hips with distance apart. Like that is perfect. And we'll start with the blocks on one side, doesn't matter which. We'll place that hand down onto the blocks and bend that same leg. Then for now, we'll just leave that top arm bent behind the back. Back of the hand touches the low back. And now you can extend the arm along the side, palm face down. We're going to do kind of what we did on Monday. We're going to sweep the arm forward in front of us and then up alongside the ear. Woo, there it is. There's that stretch. So whichever leg is straight, try to really root that foot down into the earth. Now we're going to find a little movement with this. We're simply just going to kind of round forward, looking down ever so slightly, and then come right back up. It's a very small movement. We're just looking down at the floor, letting the arm follow, and then we look back up. One more. Look down, and back up, and we'll stand right back up. Other side. So blocks over next to the opposite foot on the highest setting, stacked on top of each other. And that hand will go down on the blocks. That same leg will bend. And we'll start first with that top arm just bent behind the back. If it hurts to look up at the sky or ceiling on the neck, then you can just look forward. Now we'll extend the arm along the side, palm face down. And we'll swing the arm forward in front of us. And then up alongside the ear. Once again, whichever leg is straight, try to root that foot down and actively reach with these other fingertips, like you're trying to reach to the opposite side of the room. Okay, now we'll do that movement. So we'll just simply look down and then look up. Keep going. Look down. Inhale, look up. One more. Exhale, look down. Inhale, look up. And exhale, come right back up to stand. Now you can set your blocks off to the side for a moment. I recommend placing them kind of near the front end of the mat so you can grab them easy later on. Perfect. Now we'll start with our sun salutations to warm up the body. So feet can be hips width distance apart today. If you want to challenge your balance more, you can bring the feet together. Arms are along the sides, palms face forward. Inhale, we'll sweep the arms up. Exhale, dive forward, leading with the heart. Let the head and neck release last. Inhale, lengthen the spine, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to a plank pose, and lower all the way down to the belly. Untuck the toes, hug the elbows in. Inhale, lift the gaze, press the toenails into the earth. We'll stay here for a couple of breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Let the kneecaps hover as you press the toenails down. Now inhale, lift the heart a little more. And on exhale, we're going to look over the left shoulder, keeping the heart lifted. Inhale. Exhale, elbows still hug in. Next inhale, gaze to center. Exhale, gaze over the right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, lower the heart, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Really press the entirety of the palm down from the knuckles to the finger pads. Now even lift the kneecaps. You should feel the front of the thighs activate when you do this. Now imagine that the sit bones are opening back without reservation. Inhale. Exhale. Bend the legs, step, walk, or hop forward to meet the hands. Fingertips to the floor or shins. Inhale, half lift, lengthen the spine long. Exhale, fold, head and neck release. Inhale, rise all the way up, sweep the arms up. Exhale, stand Tadasana, mountain pose. Now we'll simply just close the eyes in our mountain pose. We're going to do some balancing-like poses later. So for now, we're going to just try and balance in our simple mountain pose. With the eyes closed, you may notice that you start to kind of sway around, losing balance slightly. That's normal. Continue to root the feet down into the earth, so you're not just simply standing on top of the earth. The feet are actually rooting down. Now we'll simply lean forward into the toes and balls of the feet. Maybe the heels hover, or maybe just the weight comes out of the heels. And now we'll kind of lean back into the heels, taking the weight out of the balls of the feet. And now we'll sway over to the right. So the outer edge of the right foot, inner edge of left foot is grounded. And switch sides, lean over to the left. And now we're going to kind of do a circle like we did earlier when we were seated. So from here, we're going to kind of start to lean forward into the balls of the feet a little bit. Take your time with it. We're going to roll over to the right side. Lean into the heels. Whew. Keep going with this circle. Move as quickly or as slowly as you're comfortable with. No need to rush things. And next time you lean forward into the balls of the feet, you can switch directions with that circle. So it may not look like much if somebody were to watch you, but you definitely should be able to feel this balancing act. And then we'll simply come back to all four corners of the feet rooting down to the earth. So the front end of the foot, the outer edges of the feet, and the heels, all rooting down at the same time. Now we'll softly open the eyes. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back to your plank pose. And we're going to lower all the way down to the belly again. Untuck the toes. Now this time you can either come right back into your baby cobra with the arms bent, elbows hugging in, chest lifts, or you can come into a more fuller version of cobra by pressing into the hands a little more. Not necessarily fully straight arms, but we're pressing in a little more. Keep pressing the toenails down into the earth so the kneecaps lift. And continue to breathe. We're going to do kind of what we did on the last round. We're going to inhale here, exhale, look over the left shoulder. Inhale, exhale. Next inhale, return to center. Exhale, look over the right shoulder. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, return to center. Exhale, lower the heart, and just release the arms along the sides for a moment, palms face up. Inhale, we'll reach the fingertips back and lift the heart up, locust pose. Exhale. Now maybe inhale, lift the feet off the ground, pointing the toes back. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, gently lower back down. Place the hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes, and we'll transition into downward facing dog. You can transition to hands and knees, and then hips go up and back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step the foot forward between the hands and lower back knee down. Now we'll grab one of those blocks, and we're going to place it on the left side of the mat on either the lowest or highest setting. Now we'll place the left hand there, and we'll reach this right arm up and over. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, lower the hands down. This time, you're going to scooch your right foot over towards the right side of the mat until the outer edge of the right foot comes in line with the back, that edge of the mat. Both palms are on the inside of the right foot now. Maybe this is enough of a stretch for you in the inner hips. If so, stay here. If you want to take it further, you can grab that block and place it on any level, letting the forearms drop down. Or you can even come to the floor if that's available. Right now we're just trying to warm up the inner hips in preparation for our warrior twos later. If you want to try and take this up a notch and wish to get a little more of a workout, you can even tuck the back toes and lift the back knee up. One more breath in. And exhale, lower back knee, plant the palms. You can move the block off to the side. We'll heel toe that right foot in once again. And then we'll plant the hands and step back to our downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step the foot between the hands, lower back knee. Now we'll place the block on the right side on either the medium or highest setting. Right hand comes to the block, left arm sweeps up and over. Next inhale, we'll come right back up to our lunge, and exhale, hands go down. Now we'll heel toe the left foot out to the left until the outer edge of the foot is in line with this long side of the mat. Both hands are on the inside of the foot. Maybe this is where you stay, or maybe now you can grab that block and place the forearms down. It can be on any level. Try to just keep bending into that front leg, getting that nice hip opener. And if you did so on the other side, you can tuck the back toes and just lift that back knee up a little. Try to continue to bend into the front leg. It's okay to let the hips kind of sink down a little bit. Yeah. One more inhale. Exhale, lower back knee. You can remove the block now and come onto the hands. And we'll heel toe the foot back to center. Good. Now we'll plant the hands. You can come into hands and knees and then transition into downward facing dog. Hips go up and back. Inhale. Exhale. Now we're going to come into our peak poses. Inhale, right leg lifts. Woo. Exhale, step the foot forward between the hands. Spin back, heel down until the toes are pointing towards the long side of the mat. Then you can rise up for your warrior two. So we'll bend deep into the front leg and press into the outer edge of the back foot. So just like we did on Monday, we'll kind of check in with our mental checklist. So we always want to start from the base up. So the feet are rooting into the earth. Should even feel like you're pulling the mat away energetically from each other, like you're ripping your mat in half with the feet. Now we'll try and bring the knee directly over the ankle. We'll externally rotate the inner right thigh so it spins up and out, maybe even tucking that butt cheek under a little. And now the arms can reach out in opposite directions. Drishti or gaze is over the front middle finger, and the shoulders soften away from the ears. Now we'll find that movement, that fluidity of water. Inhale here. Exhale, forearm to the thigh. Left arm sweeps up. Inhale, come back up, warrior two. Exhale, back hand goes down the back leg, reverse warrior. Inhale, come back up, warrior two. Exhale, forearm to thigh. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, reverse warrior. Keep bending in the front leg. Inhale, come back up, warrior two. Exhale, spin the back heel up. Press the palms down. We'll come back into our downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Okay, other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step the foot forward between the hands. Spin back heel down. Inhale, rise up for your warrior two. So now we'll get the foundation of the feet down, making sure that they're rooting down to the earth. It's like we're pulling the mat away. And then we'll get the external rotation of the inner front thigh. Fingertips reach in opposite directions. And the shoulders still melt down. Good job. All right. Inhale here. Exhale, forearm to the thigh, side angle. Good. Woo. Inhale, come back up, warrior two. Exhale, back hand goes down the back leg. Keep bending into this front leg. Woo. Inhale, warrior two. Good job. Exhale, side angle. Good. Inhale, warrior two.
So off balance. I don't know why.
You're all right. Here we go. We'll do one last version here. Okay, back hand goes down the back leg. Good. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, frame the front foot, unplug the back heel, and you can step back to a downward facing dog. Yeah.
Downward facing dog.
Yep. Yeah, hips go up and back. We're going to find a little more fluidity before we're finding our cool down poses. So now we're going to ripple our spine into a plank pose and then ripple it right back to down dog. So inhale, plank. Exhale, ripple back, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. One more. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale here. Exhale. Bend the legs. Step right foot forward, then left, or simply just walk forward to meet the hands. When you get there, the fingertips will come onto the floor or shins for your half lift. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold, release the head and neck. Stay here for a few more breaths. In and out. In and out. Next inhale, we'll gently rise all the way up, sweep the arms up. Exhale, stand, Tadasana, mountain pose. We're going to do one last workout, actually, because we have enough time. We're going to turn to face the long side of the mat, and we're going to bring our feet a little wider apart, really wide apart. Make sure that the outer edges are parallel for now. Good. Now we'll place the hands behind the back, interlacing the fingers. Pull the hands down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Head and neck release. Inhale, lengthen the legs. Exhale. One more in. And out. Next inhale, gently rise. You can release the hands if needed. Once you rise up, release the hands. Now we're going to turn the toes out heels in. You might even actually have to shorten your stance a little bit because we're going to come into a squatting position. So if you're feeling too much in the thighs with your legs so wide apart, maybe try and bring them in a little bit. We'll start with just the hands on the hips. We'll bend into the legs, get comfortable in our temple pose or goddess pose. Good. And now we're just going to straighten and bend back into it a couple times. Straighten the legs and bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. One more. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Stay here, getting comfortable here. And now we're going to find some fluidity and movement with the arms. So we're going to let the arms dangle out in front of us, like hanging out in front of us. And then we're simply just going to make circles with the arms. It's going to feel kind of funny at first. You can swing them around in one way and then the other. You can even get some movement in the legs too if you want. You can even just let the arms shake forward and back and forth. Couple more breaths. Don't forget about the legs, bending into the squatting position. One more circle wherever you are, and then we'll slowly straighten the legs, turn the toes forward, and step or hop the feet back together. Challenging your balance today. Yeah? They might be tired because you've been working out pretty hard, so they might just be tired. Of course. So we're going to do another little fluidity movement. It'll help with balance a little bit, but it's not going to be such a workout, not like that previous pose. We're going to keep our feet about hips width distance apart now. And for now, we're just going to let the arms be like jello in front of us, kind of, sort of. Like they're hanging, shoulders melting. Let the arms be almost lifeless, from the fingertips all the way up to the shoulders. Now, we're simply going to start to kind of make circles, but with our shoulders. So it's kind of confusing at first, but you'll get the hang of it. So we're going to kind of lean over to one side, let the arms dangle as you start to fold forward, rounding to center. Keep the arms heavy as you start to rise up towards the other side. And then heart is in center. Keep letting the arms dangle as you keep moving in these circle-like motions. If you need to bend the legs while you move, that is fine. But when you rise, try to straighten the opposite leg so that way you feel a nice side body stretch. And next time you hang forward at center, you can switch directions with those circles. And maybe you even get your head and neck involved. As you continue to let the arms dangle, maybe you let your gaze follow the circle as you continue to move, getting little pops here and there in the neck. And now once you come back to folding forward at center, we're going to do the same movement, but this time we're going to clasp opposite elbows. So now we'll start circling in one direction, rising up, like you're trying to draw a circle with the elbows. Elbows go up when you stand up. And exhale, round to the other side. Keep moving. This is another really good one for low back, especially the side bodies. Next time you fold forward, you could switch directions with the circles. One more round. Next time we fold forward, we'll release the hands, fingertips to the earth or shins. Inhale, lengthen the spine, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands can come to heart center. There we go. All right, now we're going to come down onto our bums. If you want to grab one of your blankets to sit on, you can. It's not necessary though. If you are grabbing it to sit on, you're going to place it near the back of the mat, fold it either once or twice if you're using it. I'm only folding mine once. And I'm just going to turn to face you. So we'll start with the legs coming into a V shape. You can take your time getting there. It can be however wide or narrow as necessary for today. And we'll start by bending the left leg, bringing the sole of the left foot to the inner right thigh. Now we'll just give a little flex to the right foot. That way the back of the knee goes down towards the floor and the foot flexes towards the face. Good. Now the right hand will come onto the floor and the left arm is going to swing up and over. If you're feeling any shoulder sensitivity by reaching the arm up and over like this, you can try circling the arm in front of you first, like that, and then opening the heart. On an inhale, we'll look up to the ceiling, and on an exhale, we're just going to look down to the knee. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. Keep actively reaching the left fingertips through the entirety of these movements. Find a nice rhythm with your breath. Continue to move fluidly. Try to keep the right foot remaining active as you continue to move. One more exhale. Inhale, look up, and then come back up to your seat. Now we'll re-extend that left leg, and we'll bend the right. Perfect. So now we'll flex the left foot this time, making sure the toes are pointing directly up to the ceiling. Sometimes mine like to go out to the side. Now we'll place the left hand down onto the floor and right arm reaches up. Actively reach with those right fingertips. Again, if you're feeling some shoulder stress, doing it like this, maybe try swinging the arm in front of you and then letting the arm come in line with the ear. Sometimes that feels better. Inhale. Exhale, look down at the knee. Inhale, look back up. Exhale, keep moving fluidly. Find your own rhythm. One more round, in and out. And an inhale brings you back up to center. Good. Now we'll go ahead and bend both legs, feet in. And we're simply going to hug the knees, forehead rests down towards the knees. Maybe it touches or maybe it's just hanging down. Now we're going to do another little version of seated cat-cow. This time we're going to keep our feet exactly the way they are, legs bent. You might have to slide the feet forward a little bit. And we're going to place the hands behind the thighs. On an inhale, we're just going to kind of bring the heart forward, concaving the spine, shoulders down. And exhale, we're going to round the spine and maybe even round so much that you feel like you can kind of lean back into this hammock. Inhale, rise back up, heart opens. Exhale, round. Keep moving with your own breath. You may notice that you can't open the heart as much in this one. That's all right. Right now, it's just about what feels good, what feels right. And next time you round the spine, stay here for a moment, chin towards the chest. And make sure that the hands are comfortably resting on the backs of the thighs so you can really let the upper back relax. Mid back relaxes. Next inhale, gently come back up. And now we'll make our way onto our backs. So I'm going to scoot my blanket out of the way. I don't need it anymore. And once you lie onto your back, you can bring the feet to the outer edges of the mat and knock the knees in to touch. And of course, we're still finding fluidity, so we're not going to stay in stillness too long. Now we're going to sway the knees side to side like windshield wipers. Move as fast or as slow as you'd like. Find your own rhythm. And now we'll bring the knees back up to center and heel toe the feet to hips width distance apart. Let's see, what time is it? Okay, good. Now we'll extend our legs long, feet together. Arms are going to be along the sides. Actually, let's reach the arms up today. Let's reach the arms up and back. Feet together. We'll flex the feet. Inhale, flex the feet even more and reach the fingertips back. On exhale, relax the arms, relax the feet. Inhale, press through the feet and the fingertips. Exhale, relax. We'll do 2 more like that. Inhale, reach. Exhale, relax. Last one. Inhale, reach. Exhale, relax. Bend the legs, feet on the floor, then hug the knees in. We'll finish with a few circles with the knees in one direction. And then we'll switch directions with those circles. And then bring the knees back to center. Hug yourself in a ball. You might even be able to bring the forehead up towards the knees. Nice tight ball. Hug it in, hug it in. And exhale, release into your shavasana, extending the legs long, heels touch the outer edges of the mat. Arms are along the sides, palms face up, shoulders walk down the back. Anything that makes us stiff can also break us. Only if we are supple will we never break. What we need is the strength of steel, but with steel's flexibility, not like crude iron, which is very strong and hard, but breaks. The body must be so supple it can bend any way you want it to. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Bring small movements back to the fingers and the toes. In your own time, roll off to one side, coming into your fetal position. And in your own time, gently press yourself up to a seated position. Palms can come together at heart center, Anjali Mudra. I will go with the flow, and if change comes, I'll learn to grow. The light within me sees and bows to the light within you. Namaste. Of course. My pleasure, always.